Hey guys, so today we're going to be making a homemade battery basically, and it's obviously not going to generate that much charge, but it's going to show you the dynamics of how a battery and how an electric current really works. So for you to do this experiment, you're going to need at least 6 to 8 nickels and at least 6 to 8 pennies. I got 7 just to be a happy medium. You need a voltmeter, something like this. You need to get some paper towels and cut them up into little strips like this, maybe like 6 to 8 strips again. Get a bowl, get some white vinegar, salt, and then you might need a measuring cup because there's a little measurements and a tablespoon. So once you have all of that, for you to make kind of like the electrifying source or the liquid, you're going to need to pour in 1/4 of a cup of white vinegar. So you're going to take the measuring cup, and open up the vinegar, and vinegar's a little smelly, so just as a warning. And that's a little over 1/4. And you're gonna get 1/4 cup, right? So you got the vinegar, and then you're gonna take a tablespoon, and you're gonna fill it up with salt. It doesn't have to be like a perfect tablespoon, but make sure that the spoon is pretty filled, just so you can get enough iron in there, because salt really adds the charge to the vinegar more than anything else. So pour it as much as you can. This might take a while depending on the type of canister you have for the salt. So yeah, there's my tablespoon of salt. You pour that into the vinegar, and you can put this vinegar into a separate bowl. I forgot to tell you that. Pour it in a separate bowl. Then take the tablespoon. You put this salt into the bowl of vinegar, and you swirl. And you swirl this until the salt is dissolved. So right now my my vinegar is looking a little pinkish, and I still see like the little particles of salt. You just want to just like kind of mix it in until you can't really see those particles of salt anymore, so it's completely dissolved. And that really helps the liquid maintain its charge and be more purified with it. So want to twirl it, and as you can see here, I still have some salt plate particles in the bottom, so just twirl them out, mix them up, make it as dissolved as possible. It's obviously not going to be perfect, you're only going to have a little bit of particles left, but do as best as you can. So once you have this, right, you have your little iron mixture, and if you feel like the particles still haven't really dissolved all the way, maybe just add a little bit of more vinegar, just kind of add a little bit more, just so the salt particles are better able to be dissolved, and mix it up some more. Doesn't have, not an exact measurement, doesn't have to be perfect, but you mix until they're dissolved. So now you start the process of making the battery. So you have pennies, which are made of copper, and nickels, which are made of zinc, and you also have the paper towels. So what you want to do, you have this sort of pattern that you're making, and the pattern is penny, paper, and then nickel. And so you have the penny, that's your first start. You take the square paper towel, you want to dip it in to the liquid that you have. It's all soaked, and you put it on the penny, and then just like a hamburger basically, you stack it with a nickel. And you repeat this process. So take a penny, paper towel, dip it into the liquid. Gonna make sure it's not like soaking wet, like it's wet, but like not that like it's overly dripping with water. Put on the penny again, and add another nickel, and repeat. So, and you do this until you end up using all of the pennies and the nickels. And so your battery will have a penny on one end and a nickel on the other. That's how it should be. You don't want to have it stacked penny to penny or nickel to nickel. You want one side to be a penny and the other side to be a nickel. Whoops, thing dropped. Happens, right? So then another penny. Dip it again. Add it in. So this is how my stack is looking. I know I was holding it a little bit lower before. Have a nickel, and you might want to. I'm holding it up, but when you're doing it, you might want to put on a flatter surface so it doesn't fall or anything. Put the other penny, paper towel, soak it, And put the nickel. And you also want to have your voltmeter ready, by the way, make sure. Because you're going to have to use the 2 wires on the voltmeter to really show that this battery works and is operating correctly. And then I have one more penny, paper, and finally nickel. So this is my stack. Now I'm gonna put this stack down. I'm gonna take the camera so you guys can see it better. That's gonna be my little stack, right? That's 7 nickels, 7 paper towels, and 7 pennies. Anywhere from 6 to 8, the battery should be more or less the same. So now you take your voltmeter, which you have, and you want to put it on a setting where the low volts can be tracked, right? So after that, you're going to have a red wire and a black wire there. So as you can see, red wire and then also a black wire. Now, I want to put the black wire on the nickel end, right? And the red wire on the penny end. And I'm gonna put the camera up here. I'm gonna raise this up. So I have the black wire, then I have the red wire. And when I do this, I get a reading of, see here, 0.33 is my official reading. And it fluctuates, obviously, and I'm also pressing down with my hands. You want to make sure that your hands really aren't in the way because the skin kind of illuminates. But I'm getting a reading of anywhere from 0.33 to 0.76. So that's your battery right here. And you have a full circuit because you have the copper on one end, the zinc on the other, the paper towels with the electrifying ingredient with the vinegar and salt in between, and then you have the cords that really make the circuit complete. So that's your battery, and as I mentioned before, the reason this works is nickel is a zinc and pennies are made of copper, and both of those conduct electricity very well. So they're your first ingredients to making a circuit. And the second one is having the salt and vinegar mixture. Now that really is like an ionizer, and that really helps a chemical reaction to occur so that the electricity can be transferred from metal to metal. Now, when you only have the stack itself, you're just transferring that electricity between the first nickel and the last penny, or the first penny and the last nickel. Now, for it to be transferred in a circuit so that the voltmeter can read it, that's why you attach the red and black wires to each of the sides. And that creates a full circuit as being able to be transferred by the voltmeter and then also obviously read a voltage. So that's basically how a homemade battery works, and sort of similar to how a real one works as well with a circuit and a chemical reaction that happens within the battery. That's how ionized batteries also work, just at a bit of a larger scale with a bigger chemical reaction. And that's the experiment for today. Thank you.